Hey, what's up, guys? Nonsensical here. So I thought after the whole One Piece MrBeast fiasco with the LARP allegations that no other YouTuber would touch anime Twitter with a 10-foot pole. But if any of you have been on there lately, you would see that apparently Logan Paul, like usual, did not get that memo. So this all basically started with Logan Paul deciding to enter his manga collector arc, dropping a Twitter post where he boasts about his two newly bought and graded One Piece and Dragon Ball Chapter 1 editions. Now, if you know anything about either Twitter or the anime community, you know that decision is probably almost as bad as bringing your girlfriend to Hooters. It's just not going to end up well. And honestly, this decision makes me think at this point that Logan Paul does in fact have a humiliation kink, which is like, fair play, bud, but there are kids on this app. Anyways, when the post was first dropped, I remembered seeing it. It only had around 2,000, 3,000 likes, and I remember just laughing at it and whatnot before a day later, Speed, who's known as one of the biggest One Piece fans, definitely the biggest one when you look at influence-wise, responds with, "You don't even know shit about One Piece." Now, if you can't tell by the 603,000 likes that Speed got compared to Logan Paul's 26,000 likes, I'd say that most people were in agreement with what Speed said. His post, Logan's, ends up jumping up to 5.3 thousand quotes, which is basically how people get around, not being able to comment, which you weren't able to thanks to Logan turning them off like the absolute Giga Chad he is. Now, it's probably a good thing that Logan turned off comments because some of these quote retweets that got about double his likes are just out here telling him that everyone fucking hates him and that they wish he wasn't around. And some of them out here are comparing him to celestial dragons. Now, if you've read even one more page than Logan Paul has of One Piece, that's not really a compliment. This isn't Logan Paul's first time in the ring with One Piece fans, as a couple of months ago, he decided to say this.
It was great.
Luffy D Monkey, shout out Luffy.
Monkey D. Luffy.
What?
Monkey D. Luffy.
It's Monkey D Luffy.
No, I get it, right? He's doing his best. It's like when the teacher calls your name up out of nowhere to give a presentation, but you're full bricked in gray sweats and there's no chance you're going up there. But after this and the belt he got from the One Piece fans for the couple days after it was posted, you'd think he wouldn't utter a word about One Piece. But here we are a couple of months later and he's dropping bans on some OG manga chapters pretending he's a day one. What makes this whole thing a lot funnier is this all comes after MrBeast, the big man himself, came to Twitter to ask people if he should watch One Piece. But not even 2 days later, he switches his profile picture to Luffy with the whole cult of anime Twitter coming to roast him when he did so. Now, I won't say anything bad about that situation because I'm still waiting for my callback from MrBeast casting for a spot in the next video because your man needs to make a band to pay off this 2013 Dodge Journey. But what I will say is that after that reaction, if I was a YouTuber, I wouldn't even want to be seen in the same room as anything anime or manga related. Anyways, back to Logan to further prove my theory of a humiliation kink. Logan posts another tweet stating that since the response was so amazing from his last manga purchase, he's going to double down and grab 2 more copies of the first edition. Logan decided not to limit the comments on this one, further stepping into the ring with the One Piece fans, or honestly just about anyone from Tectone to the official Viz Media account. He even got a special shout out from the Twitter community note that pointed out that no, in fact, the response to the first tweet was not positive. Now, it doesn't take a genius to realize that Logan, just like he always does, is capitalizing off of a joke, trying to make the most out of a situation, especially when you consider the fact that the tweet between the 2 tweets we just talked about has a whopping 432 likes. It still begs the question that I will ask one last time. Does Logan Paul like being humiliated? We can run a straw poll in the comments and we'll see what that ends up saying. But after another eventful day, Logan decided to post a picture of himself on his private jet dressed as Luffy, which I'm pretty sure was just a timing thing and not him trying to flex like he's the fucking Wolf of Wall Street, except, he's in a fucking anime outfit. Either way, he's seen with the manga in the picture opened about halfway, which if you know anything about the early serialization of One Piece, which I'm pretty sure just like me you're well versed in, you would know that halfway through the manga chapters are unrelated content and ads, which doesn't fit with his caption of, "After reading this, I'm not convinced the One Piece is real," something the writer of One Piece, Oda, has confirmed isn't true, stating that it does in fact exist and it is a tangible thing. But I think at this point, Logan is just trying to do the Reddit mod, "It was all part of my plan to rage bait you," while Mountain Dew drips onto the keyboard and Cheeto stains cover their mouse. This post was the last one, but it was also community noted with the same stuff I just explained, with Logan Paul now being compared to Damalo Black, a fake Luffy from the manga, which honestly, in the current outfit he's in, yeah, I see it. Now, I'm sure that Logan will continue to drag it, seeing the potential of the whole situation in the same way a homeless person looks at the potential of a dumpster behind a Chili's, but at this point, all you need to ask yourself is Is Logan Paul a bigger LARPer than MrBeast? And the answer to that is yes.